How you doing? I'm Big D. Thanks for stopping in. We got to talk about silver again. A lot's going on. I have to tell you some real good details about what could possibly happen as well. Before we do that, if you don't mind and you do like the show, please subscribe. I'm trying to build the show. If I can get to 200, that would be a huge milestone for right now. Also, thank you to the select few that have actually donated to the show. I'm trying to get back into my studio. There's a couple of things that has to happen before that goes forward. But I do appreciate everybody stopping in. Supporting the show does not mean just money. Supporting the show helps with if you comment, if you like the show. If you don't like the show, hit the thumbs down. It's okay. But if you do hit the thumbs down, please leave a response. Maybe I can learn from it and get better. So let's move right into the show. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all. If you do not want the updates, but you want to help out the show, hit the subscribe, but do not hit the bell notification. That way you won't get the updates. But it still helps me. Thank you. Now, the great silver shortage, which is going on right now, the LBMA, the Comex, Shanghai, none of them have silver available. They were 8 to 10 weeks out about a month ago. Right now, they're shutting it down. What does that mean? Hopefully, it means silver prices, the true silver price, is going to be exposed. This morning, I saw, I believe it was $120 in China. That's what they're pricing silver at. They were at $50 about 3-4 weeks ago, just before we started seeing over $50. They were already there. So what does $120 silver mean? I think that's a huge tell, my opinion. Now, the greatest silver shortage is happening right now. Why prices are poised to break out again? Let's talk about that. Something massive is breaking right now. While we're talking about this, here it is, 4:30 Eastern time. Now, in the silver market, exposing the biggest lies of our financial system and sending a clear warning sign to anyone that's not prepared. If you own it, that's the only way it matters. Only a short time ago, silver blew past $50 an ounce. We all know this, setting a new all-time high. This all during a shortage squeeze beginning in at least 50 years right now. This is not just about prices. This is what is to come, my belief, and I'm sure many of you. Now, the paper market, they will tell us all day we have enough physical silver to meet the demands. But as we are seeing, we definitely do not have the silver to fulfill the demand that is being requested for at least two months. It's more like they haven't been able to fill it at all, if you think about it, because majority are the fake silver certificates that they tell you, oh, we'll hold your silver. You don't have to stack it in your own safe. We'll keep it safe for you. Well, is that even really true? When the banks and whoever's selling you that silver certificate doesn't even have to own that silver? So what if everybody calls their silver and it says, okay, I want my silver? They don't have silver. What if they say, well, we can give you your money? It's going to crush the banks. That's my opinion. Now, the paper market, they will tell us all day we have enough physical silver to meet demand, but when the demand for physical silver starts to take off, Liquidity by struggles to meet demand. Liquidity crisis is exposed. Itself about it exposes itself about market manipulation, a broken system. And of course, now we are finally seeing the difference between the real thing, physical silver, and the paper promise. That's the derivatives and the lies. How quickly, how fast things can change. I mean, it's all over the news now. Finally. I mean, maybe it's not the lamestream deep state media news. Obviously, they're going to hold it. But when you go in to look at the financial reports, things like that of these banks, you can actually see it. It's hurting the banks, especially every dollar it goes up. The banks lose millions. Remember the true ratio of paper silver, which consists of derivatives, like future contracts. Future contracts are huge. And exchange traded funds, and some known as ETF shares. ETFs could be big, could be good, which represent claims to silver without the physical silver being held for every contract. You would think if they're selling you something, they need to have it in a vault somewhere, just in case you call for it. Correct? That is not the case. Now, now the ratio alone of paper to physical silver should blow your mind by that alone. I believe it's much higher than what is being reported. Now, they state there's 408 paper silver to actual promise silver to the physical silver. Now, this is exactly how to keep spot prices very low. Saying that there's all this paper silver, we're holding it at our location, but there really is none. They don't have anywhere near the amount of supply. But now with silver not being available to meet demand, the true price will be exposed. This is, I can't give you a guarantee because I'm just some Joe Blow, right? But if you do a little research, you can see the same thing that I found. They don't have it, they never have, and they've always used the promise, the silver promise. And also, it keeps the supply low. I mean, JP Morgan was busted. Almost $1 billion in fines. The amount of money they made was well over $1 billion, so why not keep doing it? Oh, so that's what they did. They did it again. They're doing it now. Until now, they cannot use it because there is no physical silver, so they can't use the actual so-called promise silver. Now, just last week, silver hit almost $55 in the United States an ounce for a troy ounce. The very next day, paper silver, which I believe it was Thursday, or fake silver, was smashed down. They threw out a bunch of the fake silver derivatives, and the price dropped down to $52. And we're about that now. We're close to 53. Depends on who you use. I use JM Bullion for my pricing. Every dollar of spot silver increases, the banks lose millions of dollars. Some say it's as much as high as $1 billion or even more. Depends on who you talk to. Guess who's not happy? The deep state. Beginning with the LBMA, Comex, etc. Some banks, like Bank of America, now are agreeing with many people, saying silver prices to hit $65. Oh, that's just the beginning. Spike reduces London market to a state of seizure and has reduced the state of lockup because there is not enough physical silver deliverable into the billions of dollars of spot contracts. that have been entered, that has been entered into these these contracts. That's my dog moving the camera. My apologies. Where was I? The spot contracts that have been entered into. The London market has ruptured to a point of dysfunctionality, because the free flow of silver is too small to accommodate demand at present. Only thing to understand, that paper promise usually never ever ends in delivery. Almost never. The use of the paper promise, even though the silver hasn't delivered to be smashed down to the spot price of silver, and the silver does not need to be in their possession, like I was talking about, to count as silver towards the supply and demand. That helps calculate the spot price. Illegal, I think so. Which, like I said, JP Morgan has been busted for this and has paid fines. So, I know so. It's called manipulation of markets. What we're looking at going forward is something huge. Could it be $100? Some people talk about thousands of dollars. There's Big Squares, if you ever heard of him. He's been talking about smashing down the silver price using derivatives for 4 or 5 years that I know of. He's talked about $100,000 silver an ounce. But think how that could be. If that were the case, that would be great, right? For an individual that has, say, 1,000 ounces. You know the demand is still there. EVs, solar panels, electronics, laptops, things like that. Your phone, your iWatch, your phone, which I use for my camera because my studio is it's down. But moving on, all these things take a lot of silver. Maybe not ounces, but if you think about it, what's going to happen? Well, it is possible people will start to go grab these things out of junkyards, and then, or wherever you dispose of your electronics, and start to recycle the silver out of them. Another thing to think about, and I think it could actually change silver prices forever and keep them low, and I hope this doesn't happen. There are people out there that are making silver. They can take a small amount of silver, use a electronic device that actually keeps the voltage and amperage at a certain low voltage and low amperage, apply it with a special liquid, well, let's call it a chemical, and they can grow quite a bit more silver in the little pot that they're doing. You can look this up on YouTube. There's a guy that does it, and he shows you exactly what you got to do if you want to do it. But chemicals and me, I do not mess around with. And he is very informative about that, how dangerous it is. But think about this. If you can grow silver, what do you think a manufacturer could do? If he can grow a pound in a couple of weeks, and I know growing sounds a little weird, but that's what makes sense. That's what sounds like it is to me. Is it legit? Is it someone that's making something up and putting it on YouTube? It is possible, but when you listen to this guy, it sounds very possible. Hey, my animals want to go outside, but I have the door open because it's cool out and it's warm inside. So consider that. It is a possibility that a manufacturer can set up a factory somewhere and grow these little buckets of silver. I think it goes against everything we know. It's natural. And he says it's 99.9% real. When he's done, he melts it down, makes ingots out of them, has little bars, a kilo bar. But again, check it out online. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. I do appreciate answering every one of your comments. It might take a day or two, but I do get to them. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all. Leave a comment. God bless. Have a great day.